Jeff Caldwell, teams are scrambling. You know why? Because he had one of the best combine performances we have ever seen.
Ever.
Over 6'5" and 216. He goes 4.31 in the 40. He goes 42 inches in the vert, which is second of all the wide receivers, and 11.2 in the broad. The 40, the vert, and the broad are the best of any wide receiver 6'5" or taller in the history of the combine. So everybody wanted to go back and go, who is Jeff Caldwell at Cincinnati? Should we take, do we take a chance on a guy that has traits that are so rare? And you did that. You went back. You watched the film. What did you see from Jeff Caldwell?
Where do you want me to start?
Let's start here. I just want to tell you this because I thought this was fascinating. Do you know in one summer, Jeff Caldwell went from 5'8" to 6'5"? And it was like at the end of high school? In one summer? Like, that doesn't seem normal. I don't even know if he's like still adjusted to his body by now. Like, that's insane.
Why does he get that and I get what I've got?
Steve, like, just give me half of it. Yeah.
Give me a third.
Well, summer's just around the corner. Let's see what happens.
I'm sorry.
I know you're right though.
Me.
No, it's all right. I mean, like you're thinking about it. You're going like shit. I've only seen that happen to Captain America when he got put in the chamber and they changed his entire body. Just like when you watched the combine, what was your first thought? Were you like, okay, I need to go back and look at what he can do? Because that is what teams are doing because these are so rare of size and speed.
When you just see Jeff at Cincinnati, you go, where'd this come from? Who and where is this young man? Where is he and why were we not aware of this type of player? That's what the combine is for. Guys are looking, scouts are talking, and they look at, let's get a guy to the combine so we can get a little bit more because he only was at the East-West Shrine game. Mm-hmm. But, man, you talking about the darling of the underwear Olympics.
He was.
This is exactly what gets you put on the map. However, it also allows your film to be examined really closely. And then people start to pick and choose why and what they value and what they don't value. So,
real quick, are you saying people make excuses once they see these traits, right?
Once they see these traits, they go, he does his quarterback play. Yeah, his quarterback play wasn't good. That ball was thrown behind him. And then there are some people.
I'll get to his quarterback play.
Right. And then there are some people like me, I turn on the film, and the first thing that jumps out of me is that boy can't stop.
Uh-oh.
He cannot. Now, he'll attack the football, but stopping, you ask him to stop on a dime, he going to give you 2 quarters, right? That don't add up. Just can't stop. Won't stop.
True. Full stop, can't stop.
But I was hoping you got it. But because of that, when I watch his route tree, they knew he couldn't stop. So there were things like, nah. And when he does stop, it's like he takes
there's an extra 2-3 steps.
Yes, right? And some coaches will say that's where you open up the gate, right? Mm-hmm. He's open up the gate. Open up the gate means
what happens?
When a corner who is a Patrick Surtain, the second, who he all of a sudden, he's backpedaling, he stops, bang, goes, that's a pick 6.
Steve, I think you don't need to be Pat Surtain with the way that he stops.
And I just love Pat Surtain's game.
No, I love him too. I'm just saying you don't need to be the best corner in football.
Yeah.
To
that's true.
To recognize it as an NFL corner and make your jump and you stop and you change directions. That is an issue. There's a lot of what you see. I went back and watched it, and I'm getting better as we've talked about this. Steve.
Yes, you are.
A lot of what he's doing, it's just, hey, send him across the field.
Yes.
Just keep going. And just keep going to the other sideline.
Yeah, if you just let him run and do what he can do, he does some excellent stuff. Let's get into his numbers, man, and really look. Right, he was 3 years at Lindenwood, and then transfers to Cincinnati. Numbers were really different. He was out there against Lindenwood. He was running some excellent routes. He was also playing against a lot less talent. And in Lindenwood, he had 53 receptions for 1,032, and then just 32 receptions at Cincinnati. I think, he's played a little bit more competition, and he doesn't have as refined routes against some of the better competition. So a lot of times, ball was misplaced, or sometimes he just couldn't get it. So it was a combination of both. But, playing out wide, 91% for his career, 84%. Playing in the slot, only 8%, but 15 for his whole career. Now, this is the interesting part. Targets, 58, 32 receptions. For his total career, 237. Targets, 124. Man, but this is where it gets a little dicey.
Okay.
478 yards in 2025. Over his career, 2,200. 3 drops, 2025. You want to know how many he has for his career? 14.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Right? So for a speed guy, it's really interesting. Only 27% of his passes of explosive plays, 5 receptions for 179 yards. Intermediate, 10 receptions, 161. 31%, but short. So that's 0 to 9. 16 receptions, 129 yards, almost 38%. Right?
That's all those.
Here's the crazy part. Yak wasn't that great either. All right. So some of the things that he really needs to work on, he works outside of his framework a lot. That's where I'm talking about that stopping, his inability to stop. So he has to work on his body control. If he can narrow those things down, that would really help him, right? Gets knocked off of his position. And for a guy that's 6'4", 200 plus pounds, you would expect him not to get knocked around a lot. But that's because he's outside of his frame and doesn't have a great body control. And so he's trying to use speed for everything.
Well, it went 5'8" to 6'5". I mean, let's just scroll into this body a little bit.
Well, I don't know what that's like, So I'm just with the 5'9".
I'm just blown away by it. I've never really seen that.
I've never seen that either, man.
No.
Right? His routes aren't clean or precise. So there's a lot going on in there that, I'm not necessarily sure like how you're supposed to look at it, but he's definitely a project. He's definitely a guy that you get him on the third day, and besides God being risen, it gives you an opportunity to kind of get a guy that he's developmental. You put him in there sparingly. You give him as the 4th wide receiver, and you give him a little bit, and you just develop him on those things, and eventually he can turn into an impact player. But you can't expect, just because his speed, that his speed is going to wow everybody and all the defenders, and they're not going to pay attention to his inability to stop and his ability to have clean routes.
Yeah, because in the NFL, Steve, if you can't, they're going to give him all the cushion in the world. Like, hey, we just can't get beat deep, and I can recover if he's going to stop short. I mean, I'm fine with that. That's what corners are going to be taught. Now, when you say you're going to give him, are you saying like maybe you have a package for him? There's certain plays that work for him, right? That within your offense. Okay.
There's certain plays that work for him that really help him out. That you're just going to go, okay, if we can give him these couple of plays, man, we got a chance to really watch him get comfortable, right?
Yeah.
You got to find out what the comfortability is for each guy and then go from there.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I did hear I made a call or two last night just because everybody's kind of like scrambling a little bit after the combine, going, we got to look at this deeper and remind everybody, Steve, that's what happens in the league. It's great for him, right? Everybody's going to take another look at him when maybe they weren't, because you were able to do this at the combine. It allows teams to take a second look because their eyes were opened a little bit at the Underwear Olympics, as you always say. But it can benefit him. he's getting a deeper look than maybe some teams wouldn't have if this didn't happen. So now that teams are looking around, it's kind of, man, I wish, the contested catches aren't really what I would love for a guy who's 6'5", to go up and get the ball. There's those little things. Obviously, the stopping thing was brought up to me. That we had that kind of that part of the conversation. But there is the thought in buildings right now going like, okay, what we know that there's these traits. How would our receiver coach work with these? Those are the conversations going on. How does our OC and receiver coach go? You go down the hall, right, Steve? This is this time of year. Go down the hall. Hey, you flip that on. Can you work with this? What do you see? Because that's what they want. Because you're always hoping you get a guy with these type of traits later in the draft.
Yeah, well, what you see is a guy. Can you work with it? But you see so much potential, and the 100%. Potential has to do with what you can't teach. That's speed. Yeah. That's why speed is coaches salivate over speed. They get so they get
4.31. 4.31 at 6'5", 40-inch vertical at 6'5", 42-inch vertical.
So 6'5". Can we jump into the film? Let's jump into the film and show you?
Yes, please.
What's 6'5", 4.31, and
by the way,
jumping.
He's 6'05.3". He's even over 6'5".
Okay.
Which is crazy. That's just his official measurement.
All right, so here we go. If you're anything like me, you love a great mattress. Bear Mattress is outstanding. Let me tell you, I've always thought I like to sleep in a soft bed. I've had a lifetime of football, slept in so many hotels. And you always think, let me get the soft mattress with all the cushy pillows. Bear Mattress allows you to take a quiz, and you can figure out exactly what is the perfect mattress for your body. And Bear Mattress and a quiz decided that Agent 89 needs a firm bed. And let me tell you, getting to bed has been much easier. At rest, feeling fulfilled, and most importantly, well rested. And that's thankfully to Bear Mattress. I assumed that I would have to go to the mattress store and lay on all these different mattresses. Not with Bear Mattress. They delivered it straight to your door. And man, it was in a box. Unboxed it, didn't take long. But man, what quality was coming in that box by Bear Mattress. Bear Mattress is a premier fiberglass-free mattress, and it upgrades your quality of sleep instantly. BearMattress.com/89Steve to get 40% off your Bear Mattress today. 6'5", jump out of the building.
It's hard to spot him.
Here we go. He's down here at the bottom. Boom, look at this. You see that?
Not sure where the corner was going, but...
No, but watch what he does. Look at this. Opens up the gate. See how he's still jumping back?
Mm-hmm.
That's not good ball, man. Right? That's not an efficient route runner. That should have been a penalty, man. Right? But he does so many things like this, but then this is what happens. Boom. Look. You're like, ooh, let me take that. Mm-hmm. So he teases you with the speed, but then when you watch him run a route, he does some things, and then he does something like this, and you go, watch. Ooh. If you're wondering, was that a catch? It was.
It was a catch.
So he can do a lot of good things. Now that's impressive.
That's impressive.
It wasn't the way they drew it up because it was real funky. Good ball thrown behind him, right? Great adjustment by him. He teases you with some things that you're going, man, I really like it. But then there's every so often he'll have some things that really just shows, look, see?
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. Open it up again.
Yes, man. And I just would like him not to open up as much. But then look, you got this. Look at this, man.
Yeah, let's go.
That's a good play. That's a good play. Great play. Good. Right. Then he going against Kansas. Right. Depending on where you stand, you say that's a good competition or not. But listen, watch this. Bang.
He got off the line quick in that too.
Yes.
Because that's the other thing that you got to mention. For as big as he is and a strider that he is, you would think it might take him a second to get off the line. He had a 1.48 10-yard split, Steve. That's elite number.
Yeah.
1.48.
He can do some special things. See, like this route right here, right? It's subtle, it's small, and you could say, "Oh, Steve, I'm nitpicking," but I have to because
it's evaluation season, Steve. Got a nitpick.
Yes, look. Now that's a little bit cleaner.
A little bit.
Right?
Still dancing back to the ball.
Yeah, limited route tree, right? He's only gonna do a few things. I think he closed his eyes on that because I damn near closed mine when he threw it.
I was focused on the double move.
Yeah, double move. You saw he sat down a little bit too much, but overshot.
That's what I'm saying.
Yep. So I mean, look. The other thing too that I really think he doesn't really understand where the defense is or having great peripheral vision. I think he's gonna have to work on that. When I think about where Caldwell can go, I think he's gonna be a late round guy, and day 3, and he reminds me of a late round guy that you can develop that no one sees coming, but the people who drafted him knew exactly if they can get him in a building and work with him. That for me is Marques Colston.
Oh,
right.
Okay.
Where
in terms of the path that you're hoping for, the late round.
Yes, late round. No one's really counting on this kid. No one's really looking at him to be a franchise leader, right? No one's looking at him to be a 1,000-yard receiver. And lo and behold, he goes out there, Marques Colston goes out there, and year after year makes defensive coordinators pull their hair out just because how consistent and how much he worked on his game.
God, he was a good player.
He sure was.
He really was a good player.
He was a good player that I hope did not have a good day, twice a year when I played him when I was with the Carolina Panthers.
Quick side note, I hope anybody was watching that quarterback throwing that football a little bit because that might be, very well could be, the number 1 pick in the 2027 draft. In Brendan Sorsby, who transferred to Texas Tech now, Steve. Keep an eye on him this upcoming college season. Talked to an offensive coordinator yesterday who said, I think he's going to be the number 1 pick in 27. So we'll see.
You heard it here first.